best price and selection of modern firearms, accessories, and ammunition. Proven Arms is open Tuesday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and is co-located with Quantico Tactical on Highway 211 east of Aberdeen and on the web at ProvenOutfitters.com.
The greatest comeback of all time is underway. Remember to shop local businesses. A reminder from Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
The Zumwalt Zone is brought to you by Quality Sheds. Get a quality shed with 1 month down payment, no credit check, monthly payments, free delivery, and deals if you want to pay cash. Visit Quality Sheds at 5200 U.S. Highway 1 in Vass or call 910-638-8907.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. We all know that Donald Trump's being targeted by the Manhattan District Attorney, a fellow named Alvin Bragg. Shouldn't he have to change his name? We had to change the name of Fort Bragg to Fort Liberty because Bragg was a Confederate general. As a guy who spent a lot of my time at Fort Bragg, I want to say to you, we've lost our minds. Someone had to do a ton of research to find out the history of the name. Let me suggest something equally as ludicrous. That DA should have to change his name to Alvin Liberty. Stupid, you say? Yep, I answer. Okay. Since I'm talking about a DA, let me say a word about judges. They're supposed to be wise, right? Judges should care about people, don't you think, and treat them with respect in their courtrooms. The average person's already afraid while in court. The judge has every legal right to talk down to them, but it doesn't make it right. Judges are elected. We've got 1 or 2 in Moore County who may have forgotten that. I already told you about Judge Webb requiring the COVID shot for persons on probation unless they want to pay $40 a month for the length of their probation period. Ordinary people like you and me, we have no power in front of a man, and he is just a man, like Judge Webb. I don't know if he'll have to answer for his actions, but I certainly plan to keep this alive until we find out. I hope you take an interest in it as well. Meanwhile, I hope all of you have a wonderful day and a very safe day from the Zumwalt Zone.
Showers and moderate rainfall will gradually clear out, and we are going to see mostly dry conditions for this afternoon. With the actual front moving through, we are going to watch the potential for some isolated showers, perhaps thunderstorms to develop. Across the southeast, we will get highs in the mid-70s and lower 80s. Tonight will be a dry one with lows in the upper 40s and lower 50s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at Talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us. I like the North Carolina kind of kindness, laid-back living North Carolina style. I like the way the people say they're always on your side with a North Carolina kind of smile. I like calling North Carolina home. I like the North Carolina kind of people, down to earth but reaching for the moon. I like watching kids grow up in a state of grace on a North Carolina afternoon. Lord, it's just like living in a home. I like calling North Carolina home. On a North Carolina afternoon. Lord, it's just like living in a home. I like calling North Carolina home.
What is today?
What's today?
Today's Monday.
What's this?
Monday morning motivation.
Monday.
Motivation? Monday.
Wake up! Motivational brigade, come through! And not only wake up, but wake up with the mindset of being better than you were last week.
I love motivational speeches.
I'm really motivated.
Motivating.
Motivation for what? Showtime!
Left my heart at a watering hole somewhere in small town Ohio. Headed out west to Arizona, cause the East Coast fellas do go, go, go. Easy come, easy go. Got a fast car with the 90s on, not a soul on the road, but the road is home. Smiles for miles, up on my face. Wear it, share it, cause we ain't got time to waste. Up in the giddy up, giddy, giddy up, up in the giddy up. Talk in the city, got a lady in the cup, up in the giddy up. Up in the giddy up, giddy, giddy up in the giddy up. Talk in the city, got a lady in the cup, up in the giddy up. When I get stuck, gotta get a little love and some up in the giddy, yeah. Gotta make it happen cause it feels so good. Singing in the mirror like it's Hollywood. Life is getting shorter, gotta drink it up. Time to shine like I know you should. Slide to the left, then slide to the right. Jump in the air till you're 10 feet high. Yeah, come on, and make it join. Smiles for miles, up on my face. Wear it, share it, cause we ain't got time to waste. Up in the giddy up, giddy, giddy up in the giddy up. Talk in the city, got a lady in the cup, up in the giddy up.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It's time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with the Colonel, retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Yeah, I thought we were going back to a music format there for a minute. Yeah, hey, a little wet out there this morning, but yeah, there were some hardy conservatives out there enjoying the rain with a good run. So, don't let that deter you. You Democrats, you'll have to wait for the sun. We don't want you to melt. So get out and enjoy your day.
All right, don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's up and running for you at our website at talk973.com or talk1041.com or WEEB990.com. Top middle of the home page is where the video link is. Upper right-hand corner of every one of our pages has another link that says On the Air Listen Live. Click that once you're listening that quick to our broadcast signal, along with the rest of us. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area. Let's see. It's mostly cloudy today with showers, chance of storms, 90% chance you'll get wet, but not a washout. Look for a high in the lower 60s. I'm sorry, that's last night. Move on, Steve. Tired when these things don't refresh themselves. For today, mostly cloudy with light rain showers. Early on, isolated storms possible, not likely. High of 78 today. Tonight, partly cloudy with isolated storms. Low around 51. And then Tuesday, partly cloudy with light rain showers and a high of 67. Wednesday, partly cloudy with light rain, 62. Thursday, back to sunshine and 68. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are east, southeast at 2. Pressure is 2995, 2.61. Humidity 99%. And it's currently mostly cloudy, 61 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Okay, Shania Twain. Bet you can't, huh?
That was Shania Twain, huh? How about,
yeah. Another line dance.
Haven't heard her for a long time, so.
Called Giddy Up. Couldn't have guessed that from the tune. Let's see here. It is 7:35, 35 past the hour on this Monday. Let's break you into things that have been happening this weekend and around the world and so forth, so on. But first, the best of the weekend Unique boys. See if they, with all their heavily paid writers, can come up with one joke that can make you laugh. Here we go.
Apple is going to spend $1 billion a year to make movies that will be released in theaters. It'll be fun. Instead of trailers, every movie will start with 30 minutes of terms and conditions.
Now that this school lunch lady in Connecticut has been arrested for sending nude photos and having sex with a 14-year-old, that kid has to tell us, what's your secret? Yeah! I couldn't get my school lunch lady to give me extra tater tots.
Look in the mirror.
And be careful, lunch lady's idea of protection is wearing a hairnet.
The Biden administration is rolling out new rules to require more efficient window air conditioners. Yep, and instead of low, medium, and high, the controls will now be more accurately labeled as low, same but louder, and same but much louder.
Nothing.
Third one had a little potential. All right. Well, I like calling North Carolina home, but not this. A North Carolina man bought his wife a Maserati from Carvana for her birthday. That's that online car shopping place. Then he found out it was stolen.
Jeez. How can Carvana sell a stolen car?
Well, here's Jason Scott talking about how he found out that the $68,000 vehicle he legally bought ended up being stolen.
Was excited to have it coming down the hill, got out the car, everything was fine. That's when they found out that the vehicle was stolen. And when they checked the VIN number on the chassis, that's when they saw that it was a stolen vehicle. She said, well, we can't trade the vehicle back in until you bring the vehicle back. I said, I can't bring the vehicle back. I said, the police have the vehicle. I know they said they have 150-point inspections. I want them to have 151. Check to see if the vehicle is stolen. The last thing I want anybody to do is get caught late night on some strange road in the back country and they can't verify it and they look at that person as a criminal.
Yeah, no kidding. Carvana should be deplatformed immediately for that one. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How many other stolen cars might they have sold?
No telling.
Because, a Maserati, that raises some eyebrows. People are going to look at that. But, you buy run-of-the-mill jalopy there, you could be riding around in a stolen car.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They're not checking. It's not like it's hard to do. God, come on, man.
A sheriff in Florida is looking for a spring breaker caught on a security camera going into someone's yard and using it as a bathroom. Here is Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd with his plea to the community to help find this lady and her shiny rear end.
We have trespassing. It involves a lady that's gone into a neighborhood on Lake Winterset, into the hedge area, and she's popped a squat and showed us her shiny rear end while she goes to the bathroom in these people's hedges. I want you to think for a second. What if somebody stopped their car and walked up into your yard and started doing the number one thing or the number two thing in your hedges?
And turn the sprinklers on. That's disgusting. Yeah, I got it, but this guy obviously hasn't visited San Francisco. It's trespassing. It's whatever other law they have in Florida about, doing your business in public. But, they must have some other things to really be upset about and spend their time on. That's all I can say. I'm not saying ignore it. Yeah, put it out there, see if somebody can identify them, but for crying out loud. I don't know that needs media attention.
No. All right. Well, March Madness continued over the weekend with the Elite Eight. There were a couple of close games and one big blowout. Here's a montage of the Final Four.
3-point game. Clock ticks. That's it! The Owls of Florida Atlantic. They are headed to the Final Four. It's the final countdown. Miami, and this thing is winding down. What a comeback. It's the biggest win in Hurricane Hoops history. Miami heading to the Final Four for the first time. The
the 6th Final Four in the history of the Connecticut Huskies. This was a complete demolition, and there's no other team going to the Final Four than UConn.
All right. The next 2 games are set for this Saturday, and I think the final is a week from today, if my memory serves me right.
Well, that's not March then, so it's not March Madness anymore.
No, it bleeds into April now.
Yeah.
That would be April 3rd. Unless they do it, they're not going to play Saturday and then make them play Sunday. It would be Monday. In honor of the astrological new year, which was last week, Starbucks has launched a website that helps people pair coffee with their astrological sign. But what about those poor souls who need their caffeine fix but don't know their horoscope? Starbucks presents your zodiac reading.
Here is your astrological reading if you have not had your coffee yet. If you're an Aries, you're impatient and nosy and probably have eye boogers because you didn't wash your face. Children don't trust you. For Taurus, people think you're bullheaded. You're probably a workaholic. And when you don't get your coffee first thing, you lack confidence and your breath is disgusting. And for Virgo, no coffee means you're unemotional and often fall asleep during sex. Virgos make good bus drivers and pimps. And these are your astrological readings if you haven't had your coffee yet.
Okay. And there's another reason not to go to Starbucks.
It's too expensive. Is that it?
Well, just having to listen to that, yeah.
Well, up to 80% of workers could see their jobs impacted by artificial intelligence. That makes a lot of people say, AI, no. McDonald's is putting out kiosks where you make your order and then you pick it up at the counter.
Right.
A related story, anyway, with this intact in your mind, we got the perfect song to lay it out for you.
Hey, all you human workers, sing along. Everything you had to learn, AI knows. And that job that you thought was yours, to AI it goes. With a search here and a chat there. Here a search, there a chat. We don't need to interact, not so sure. I like this farm of stuff that AI grows.
Well, that's been a... sheets. You don't have them down here. We don't have them down here. Up north in Virginia, they were doing that like 15 years ago. You walk in there and you get a little, punch-up menu and, hamburger, pickles, et cetera, and you could pay for it and you stand there and the bag appears. And
that's
away
sort
you
of
go.
like Char Grill in Raleigh, where
it's been around.
You fill out your own menu. Order off the little menu. You put that in the box, and then you wait for your number to be called. Number 16.
Yeah, well, that's I guess that's Southern technology, a piece of paper and a pencil.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, up north, you use a computer screen.
Yeah, something to break down. That's good.
Yeah, you break that pencil. Hey, you sure it's not wasn't a crayon you were using?
Well, at least the people can read the box if it's not perfectly colored in.
Well, did somebody have to come by and sharpen the pencils once in a while?
Oh, yeah. Those little pre-sharpened golf pencils is what they were.
There you go.
Let's see. We did that. All right. Well, one thing we haven't done is the not headline news.
This is not headline news. Chevy announced they're going to stop making the Camaro. When asked to comment, Camaro fans wiped marinara sauce from their pit-stained wife beater, doused themselves in Axe body spray, and sadly began belting out Livin' on a Prayer. Mark Zuckerberg and his wife welcomed their third child. Instead of baby wipes, they'll use Meta stocks. According to a new study, smelling other people's body odor could reduce social anxiety. It could also mean you're spending too much time with an Uber driver. And today is Viagra Day. If you don't take Viagra and still want to celebrate your impotence, feel free to visit your local Porsche dealer. This is not headline news.
Well, they were talking about Chevy stopping production of the Camaro.
Yeah.
The 24 will be their last one. And it won't take long before the Mustang dies. It's gone electric.
Yeah, you read over the weekend that Ford lost $2.3 billion on its electric pipeline of cars or line of cars. And the projected loss for 2024 is $3 billion. So electric cars are not it, man. Again, if you've got an electric car and you beat around Pinehurst and Southern Pines and, around the local area, yeah, that suits your needs. Got no problem with that. But that by no means solves transportation issues, period. And oh, by the way, your car is not green.
Not at all. They other thing is the dealerships are getting back a lot of these electric cars because customers aren't satisfied with the performance that they thought they were promised.
Oh yeah,
and you also got to plan. You and I, we got to go somewhere. We jump in the car. If we're low on gas, we go to the gas station,
Right.
fill up, keep going. With electric vehicle, EV, then you got to plan, let's see, I got to have this amount of charging time, so I better get home early and charge up, and you got to plan all that crap.
Well, again, it's a great for a local kind of thing. If you're not traveling more than 100 miles or so, but it's been shown time and time again, if you are looking to use that thing as a highway, point A to point B, express, hey, I don't pollute, and, et cetera, kind of car, and go 200 miles, it's a loser. It's a loser all day long. You can go on YouTube and see him just time and time again. Guy gets the big Ford electric truck, and he goes about 100 miles, and that's it. Whether he's towing anything or what. In fact, when you start towing stuff, you get even less. So
hang on, folks. I need 4 hours to go get some electricity.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is the insurance companies. If you have an accident in that thing, they
burn alive.
Well, no. Well, that's a separate issue. If it's a really serious collision, yes, you can in fact burn very quickly. And fire departments can't put the fire out because those batteries start burning, and they're very difficult to extinguish. Number one,
they say, "Water, I laugh at you."
And number two, even if you just have a slight fender bender, which is fairly common, insurance companies are totally writing off those cars because once that battery compartment gets a little bent, they don't want to fool around with it. I mean, a simple fender bender could total your car. And I read that over the weekend. This is not something I'm making up. I read it. It's a stack of stuff. I'm not going to sit here and do the Rush Limbaugh thing. You can look it up for yourself. Maybe it's propaganda. Maybe it isn't. But apparently, it's happened quite often where a minor fender bender ends up totaling one of those electric vehicles.
Well, what was I going to say about? Well, people think that these electric vehicles are environmental friendly.
Yeah, they aren't. Yeah.
They're not, because they use more carbon throughout their lifetime than a combustion engine does, when you consider in all the manufacturing and so forth and destruction of it. But if you get, and I'm no green thumper either, but there is one movie I've seen that makes sense. It's called Kiss the Ground. It's on Netflix. It's actually narrated by Woody Harrelson. But it's primarily, just in a nutshell, if we cover all the bare spots, we're talking about farming land too. The farmers they have techniques where you can grow your crops and harvest your crops with the ground having ground cover.
Yeah.
It stops erosion, and it nourishes the ground. And you still get your yield on your crop. But the ground cover is what's important. If we cover the ground everywhere that we can in this world, it will more than absorb the CO2 that all of mankind emits.
Yeah, you have to watch. I did watch it after you mentioned it, and you have to get past some of the green weenie stuff aside, because they can't help themselves. They have to show a scene with solar panels and windmills. If you can ignore that stupidity and just watch the piece on how to cultivate, rather than doing the old methods where you plow the whole field and you got bare dirt, etc. They're talking about basically allowing the prairies to go back to their natural form. Part of it is having large herds like buffalo did back in the day. They go through, they keep the prairie grass pretty low.
Yeah, they keep cows there.
Or you using cows. What they're saying is use cows now. But you have to have a mixed use farm. It has to be cows and agriculture. And once you have returned the bare cultivated areas back to their natural state, then they have a new method where you can plant corn or other seed crops.
Right.
And by not just turning over all the dirt, all the earth like we used to, or like we currently do cultivating crops, you keep the topsoil, you hold the carbon in the ground where it belongs, and you take care of a lot of the pollution problems that are at issue. But yeah, really recommend. It was a very interesting Netflix thing.
It's the first, I'll say in quotes, green movie that makes any sense.
Yeah, it was Kiss the Earth or Kiss the Ground.
Kiss the Earth.
Kiss the Earth. And, if you can get by listening to Woody Harrelson, I got it. He's a little bit of a Looney Tune. If you can get by, if you're smart enough to really pay attention to this thing, when you're being propagandized, you can just kind of tune that out for the few seconds or minutes where they yak about solar power crap, because they don't go on about it too long. I mean, you want to focus on this guy who returned his cultivated farm back to its natural state of prairie grass, etc., and then he uses cows, to keep it in check so it doesn't grow totally back to weeds, and there's a method to it, and he's very successful at it.
Yeah, by doing it with the ground cover.
Right, naturally.
He used to lose money year after year after year thanks to the weather. It'd be either a flood or a hailstorm taking his crops out.
Or drought, etc.
Drought, yeah. And this way of doing your agriculture, your moisture stays in the ground.
Right.
The nutrients are in the ground. You don't need to spray them. And you got a much healthier crop.
Yeah, you really have to watch it, because it's a very involved thing, and if you focus on that aspect of this documentary or whatever it is, there's a lot of sense there, a lot of good things to consider. Just like I said, when you see a scene with a solar panel, just blink and know that they're trying to propagandize you. But this guy did it, and was very successful with it.
All right. Where do we go now? Back to the stupid stuff. This guy's wife had a pregnancy craving at work for a bowl of Fruit Loops with warm milk. Here's what he did about it. Here we go.
I'm about to go pick my baby up, and she says she is craving.
Maybe I need to preface it by telling you what he did. He picked her up and had a plastic bowl, filled it with cereal and warm milk. They're wearing heavy winter coats outside to eat it with, but we'll run it again for you.
I'm about to go pick my baby up, and she says she is craving Fruit Loops. I cannot forget to warm up the milk because that's just the way how she likes it.
Hi, baby daddy. Oh, no! That's for me! Oh, that's for you!
No, that's for you.
Sure she's not eating Cocoa Puffs?
Oh my God! Wait till I tell Lavendale.
The milk is warm. I warmed it up on purpose.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, I love you.
Wow. Don't have to buy her flowers.
Yeah, there you
go. And this guy singing at a karaoke bar could go on the road as a Meatloaf impersonator. Listen to him belting out, "I'd do anything for love, but I won't do that." It's a duet with a woman in the source video here.
As long as it's bad, it's time. As long as the stars are burning. As long as your dreams are coming true. Even I would do anything for love. And won't do that.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, acoustic's not really great there, but yeah, he can sing.
Could have left that one out.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Canadian family says that they came home from vacation to find that a goat has moved into their home. The goat hangs around their property, even tries to come into the house. Here is homeowner Tanya Mold talking about her new roommate.
I came home, I was unloading the car, and all of a sudden, I saw something chewing on the plastic, so I opened up the door, and a big old billy goat came out. It just strolled out like it owned the place. I had no idea what to do because I wasn't expecting to have a goat move in while I was gone. It tries to get into the house every time we come outside. We named it Gordo. We're trying to find anywhere else for it to go. We're definitely not set up for it here. I'm terrified of goats.
Yeah, well, yeah, billy goat, man. Don't turn your back on one of them.
I'm glad we didn't one of those wailing goats who go,
meh. Yeah, crying goat. That sounds like somebody's goat that, got off the farm, got loose from the farm. And that happens. I've seen one. In fact, it was a little while back, but I'm riding down the road there out in the mountains, and, all of a sudden, here's this big old billy goat trotting down the road next to me, trailing a big old rope, and
that mountain life.
Yeah, and then hopped over the fence and disappeared out into the woods. Yeah, they're something. Yeah, you don't want one of them getting on you either, man. Whew.
Yeah, they'll come headbutt you pretty quick.
Ooh, yes, they will.
An Austin man burnt down a historical building with millions of dollars of renovations.
Showers and moderate rainfall will gradually clear out, and we are going to see mostly dry conditions for this afternoon. With the actual front moving through, we are going to watch the potential for some isolated showers, perhaps thunderstorms to develop. Across the southeast, we will get highs in the mid-70s and lower 80s. Tonight will be a dry one with lows in the upper 40s and lower 50s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Reports that Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu may be set to put his controversial judicial reform plan on hold. In Jerusalem, the BBC's Anna Foster says the plan has plunged the country into chaos, triggering huge nationwide demonstrations.
Many people in this country see these changes as really affecting the bedrock of Israel's democracy. And that's why Benjamin Netanyahu finds himself in such a difficult position. There was this plan to address the nation, which has now been postponed while he holds talks with various Israeli lawmakers. He's got the other members of his own coalition to try and keep happy. Then you have on the streets tens of thousands of people. I was with protesters in Jerusalem until 3 o'clock here this morning, and they were absolutely determined that they would not back down in trying to get this legislation not paused, but stopped.
Flights out of Israel's main international airport have been grounded in protest. Attention now turning to recovery in tornado-ravaged Mississippi. Weekend storms killed at least 25 people, causing widespread damage in and around the small town of Rolling Fork. Authorities believe all of the missing now accounted for following Friday's explosion. It reduced a chocolate factory to rubble in West Reading, Pennsylvania. The death toll there is 7. A helicopter crash claiming the lives of 2 Baton Rouge, Louisiana police officers.
The FAA and their investigators will be leading this investigative process. We're asking the community to be respectful of the investigative process because it does take time.
Baton Rouge Police Chief Murphy Paul talking with WBRZ TV. He is requesting prayer for police officers and for the families of the 2 who were lost in yesterday's crash near Port Allen. Watching Wall Street, Dow futures up 219 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Miss Prager here. Sue and I mean it when we say dogs are part of our family. We love Otto and Snoopy so much, and there's nothing like their loyal companionship. So we provide them with Rough Greens, R-U-F-F, because we want them to feel healthy and be with us as long as possible. I know Charlie Kirk feels the same way.
The Pragers and I couldn't agree more. I rely on my trusted furry friend, Mr. Briggs, who's an absolute machine, and he relies on me to provide what's best for him. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black has packed Rough Greens, not a dog food, but a supplement full of vitamins, minerals, digestive enzymes, and omega oils that Mr. Briggs absolutely needs and loves. Trying Rough Greens for your dog just makes sense.
Greetings, Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black here. I'm honored that the Pragers and Charlie trust their dog's health to Rough Green. I'm so confident that Rough Green can help your dog too that I'm offering you a free Jumpstart trial bag. Just cover the shipping. Yes, dog food is dead food, but it doesn't have to be. Go to ruffgreens.com.
Company and affiliates.
Leaders of India's main opposition party are holding nationwide protests against the disqualification of their leader from Parliament.
As soon as proceedings commenced in the lower house, some Congress party MPs rushed towards the Speaker's chair, tore up their parliamentary papers and hurled them at the Speaker, Om Birla. Mr. Birla adjourned proceedings immediately, saying he wanted to run the House with dignity. Most opposition MPs wore black, some had their mouths covered with black bands. In the upper house, MPs from the governing BJP and Congress party raised loud chants against each other's leaders. The Vice President of India, Jagdeep Dhankar, who chairs the upper chamber, also adjourned proceedings, citing disorder from both sides.
The BBC's Sanjay Dasgupta. A suicide bomber is struck near the foreign ministry in the Afghan capital, killing at least 6 people and wounding about a dozen others, that according to a local hospital and the police chief. News and analysis, townhall.com. Some Brazilians upset over an amusement attraction.
Some 200 demonstrators gathered beneath Rio de Janeiro's world-famous Sugarloaf Mountain to protest the ongoing construction of zip lines aimed at boosting tourism, alleging it will cause unacceptable impacts. The 4 steel lines will run over the forest between Sugarloaf and Urca Hill, and riders will reach speeds of 62 miles an hour. Inauguration is scheduled for the second half of this year, and an online petition to halt works has been signed by almost 11,000 people. The UN's Heritage Center named it a World Heritage Site in 2012. Ron DeRockster reporting.
There's word this morning that North Carolina-based First Citizens will buy Silicon Valley Bank, the tech industry-focused financial institution that collapsed earlier this month. It's a deal that could serve to reinsure investors at a time of shaken confidence in the banking industry. More on these stories at townhall.com.
As our economy gradually reopens, remember to support local.
Know you're doing the right thing and stay proud.
Be a part of the greatest comeback of all time with Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
When it comes to insurance, you should always think First. First Casualty Insurance Group, that is. At First, we represent over 3 dozen outstanding companies and can provide you with the coverage you need at a price that makes sense. Have us do a top-to-bottom review for you. It won't cost you a cent. Stop by or we'll come to you. There's no obligation. Always, the coverage you need at a price that makes sense. And all you have to do is give us a call, 910-692-8303. We've been in the peace of mind business for over 30 years. First Casualty Insurance Group, Southern Pines, 910-692-8303.
Moore County, home to historic Yadkin Road, majestic pine forest, and a deep-rooted community.
And as part of the Cooper Ford family, they live here, shop here, share their faith here, and support the causes you care about. Cooper Auto Choice is locally and family owned. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, you have a choice. Cooper Auto Choice, just down the street from Red's Corner on Broad Street in Southern Pines. To learn more, call 910-725-1111 or visit CooperAutoChoice.com.
When you sit in your home, do you realize how outdated it looks? You've got tired carpeting, mismatched furniture, and unusable spaces that need updating. Don't waste time driving for hours looking for ideas. Stop by the Home Center. See the professional staff at the Village Design Group. Let them guide you. Want to redesign, remodel, or renovate your place or need new furnishings? They put over 40 years' experience to work to transform your home from ordinary to awesome. Check them out on the web at villagedesigngroup.com or go by the showroom at 15501 South, next to Zaxby's.
Lee Christian School is now enrolling for preschool through 12th grade, an alternative to public schools. Lee Christian takes great pride in teaching quality academics while instilling biblical principles in students' lives. With a 16-to-1 student-teacher ratio and a 95% college acceptance rate, Lee Christian School is committed to your child's future. Tuition assistance is available. And for more information on enrollment, visit leechristian.org or call 919-708-5115 today.
Serving more people, more places, 24/7. If your AC breaks down, we'll restore your indoor heaven. Installation or repair, one call, we'll be there. It's your family, don't delay. Comfort's just a call away. We're Comfort Services. Comfort Services.
Come visit the beautiful Comfort Services showroom. See our gas fireplaces, wood-burning fireplaces, electric fireplaces, and outdoor kitchen grills. Don't forget to have us schedule a service on your gas logs for peace of mind this winter. Stay comfy and cozy all season long by calling Comfort Services at 910-695-2665. That's 910-695-2665.
Comfort's just a call away. Comfort Services.
I'm Ella.
And I'm Eva. We and everyone in our family are patients at Sandhills Weekend Dental. We love going to the dentist, especially to get our teeth cleaned. Katie, the hygienist, told our brother Ashton he needs to brush his teeth really well every day to get rid of the poop that the sugar bugs leave behind, or else he will get cavities, and he doesn't want that. We feel everyone should go to Sandhills Weekend Dental and eat, kiss, and smile better, except we don't kiss.
Make your appointment today. Call Sandhills Weekend Dental at 687-4423.
Hey, we've all been there. You're in the middle of something important. And then, boom, the power goes out. But what if it didn't? What if you skipped the candles and flashlights and just carried on with your day? With a Kohler generator, your power stays on, even when utility power goes out. So your food stays fresh, your home stays powered, and you stay happy.
Call Premier Power Generation at 910-295-3188.
MCI News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Governor Roy Cooper has vetoed Senate Bill 41, which would have removed sheriff's authority to refuse a permit based on criminal background checks and other indicators. He was in Wilmington last week and said,
it actually takes away an important protection where sheriffs can make decisions about issuing pistol permits that don't necessarily show up in a federal firearms check, like domestic violence, like gang membership, things like that.
Legislation in the General Assembly authorizing and regulating sports gambling passed through 2 House committees. John Bell, a sponsor of the bill, says the bill includes legislation that would help those with gambling problems.
If you do have a problem, we're actually appropriating funds to help get you the help needed with your issue or addiction.
Under an agreement by the FDIC, First Citizens Bank of North Carolina will resume all deposits and loans of the collapsed Silicon Valley Bank. CBS News business analyst Joe Schlesinger is following.
First Citizens is based in North Carolina. It was the 30th largest bank as of the end of last year, had $109 billion in assets. It's now about to purchase $119 billion in deposits from Silicon Valley Bank and about $72 billion of SVB's loans.
Massive protests and calls for a general strike in Israel over Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's move to limit the independence of the country's Supreme Court. Charlie
Daggett, a reporter.
Racing for further protests today, and the Prime Minister is facing the greatest threat yet to his coalition government. There are now reports he may halt that overhaul following a long night of nationwide demonstrations.
Crews have continued to work around the clock to contain a huge fire that's been burning in Terrell County. John Cook is a spokesman for the Forest Service.
Smoke's the biggest issue because when it's a little bit rainy like this, the smoke tends to linger on the ground.
You're listening to NCN News.
Join PBS North Carolina as we explore the world around us through stories that illuminate and moments that inspire. From PBS favorites like Masterpiece to local programs that celebrate our state and people. From educational resources for kids to emergency briefings that keep us secure. PBS North Carolina offers endless possibilities for discovery and wonder. Follow your curiosity at pbsnc.org.
Healthcare.gov is here for you when life happens. If you lost your health coverage because of turning 26, going off Medicaid, leaving your job, or moving, you could be eligible to enroll in new coverage now. And if you need to update your coverage because of marriage or having a baby, you could also be eligible. But don't wait. There's a limited time to enroll. Check your eligibility at healthcare.gov today. Life happens. Get covered. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Dale Folwell has announced he will run for governor. Folwell, a former legislator, school board member, and state unemployment office chief who was first elected treasurer in 2016, says he would bring competence to operating government in a fiscally sound manner. A state of emergency has been issued for Mississippi after severe storms and tornadoes killed over 24 people and injured dozens of others over the weekend. At least one person was killed in Alabama, and it's been wreaking havoc on the South. CBS News reporter Kristen Benvenitez is in Rolling Fork, Mississippi.
FEMA says more than 2,000 homes were either damaged or destroyed here in Rolling Fork, Mississippi. Yesterday, President Biden approved a disaster declaration authorizing federal funds for some of the hardest hit counties.
The 2023 Spring Litter Sweep is taking place April 15th through the 29th, traditionally scheduled for the last 2 weeks of April and September. Bridget Barth with NCDOT told NCN News.
We devote our people to go out and for that period, and they devote a bunch of their time to going out and taking out trash.
The NCAA basketball tournaments are reaching their climax.
No top seeds in the men's Final Four for the first time in more than a decade. San Diego State got there in a squeaker over Creighton.
Hands it to Trammell. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Trammell drives. He shot!
Winning with a last-second foul shot, and Miami surged back from 13 points down to beat Texas. UConn and Florida Atlantic round out the Final Four. For the women,
here's Clark, guarded by Robinson. Clark firing again. Oh, my!
Caitlin Clark and Iowa made it to the Final Four, along with LSU. 2 other spots will be decided today. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Showers are on the way out, but with the actual front moving through, we could see some showers and perhaps a few rumbles of thunder for this afternoon across the southeast. Most areas will be dry. Highs will be in the mid-70s and lower 80s today. Come tonight, we're down into the upper 40s and lower 50s. Look for highs in the lower 60s and lower 70s for tomorrow with sunshine throughout the day. Some showers moving in Tuesday night. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sand Hills area, we have, partly cloudy skies, 61 degrees, humidity 99%, dew point 61. Winds are east-southeast at 1, gusting to 2, and pressure is 2997. It is 8:15. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Monday morning. A 65-year-old man was jailed at the Moore County Detention Center under a $100,000 secured bond and is facing charges of possession with intent to sell and deliver methamphetamines, possession of methamphetamines, maintaining a vehicle or dwelling place for controlled substances, and other drug-related charges. Kenneth Garner Bennett was arrested by deputies after a search warrant was put forth in the 900 block of NC Highway 22 in Bennett community. During the investigation, deputies located methamphetamines and other drug paraphernalia. The search warrant was executed at the conclusion of a drug investigation. After nearly 2 years of construction, First Health of the Carolinas will finish out March by opening its new comprehensive cancer center to patients in Pinehurst on Page Road. The 4-story, 120,000 square foot center designed to change the way First Health delivers cancer care was purpose-built to become a haven of hope for patients and their families. Community support was key in the center becoming a reality. The Building the Dream campaign, a $30 million fundraising effort led by the Foundation of First Health, paid for almost half of the $68 million construction project. And North Carolina Insurance Commissioner and State Fire Marshal Mike Causey announced on Thursday that West End Fire and Rescue completed their routine inspection and received a rating of 3 out of 9E, effective July 1st. The inspection conducted by the officials with the Department of Insurance Office of the State Fire Marshal, also known as the OSFM, is required regularly as part of the North Carolina response rating system. Among other things, the routine inspections look for proper staffing levels, sufficient equipment, proper maintenance and equipment, communications capabilities, and availability of a water source. The NCRRS rating system ranges from 1, which is the highest, to 10, which is not recognized as a certified fire department by the state, with most rural departments falling into the 9S category. While lower ratings do not necessarily indicate poor service, a higher rating does suggest that a department is overall better equipped to respond to fires in its district. Higher ratings can also significantly lower homeowners' insurance rates in that fire district. That's your WEEB local news this morning from the Sand Hill Sentinel. And, of course, you can always go online to sandhillsentinel.com for more information. It is 8:18. Sports is next, right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB.
Your morning sports report is brought to you by Hughes Supply of Pinehurst. With over 50 years' experience, Hughes Supply can handle all your plumbing project needs from start to finish. Call 910-295-5541 or visit them online at HughesSupplyPinehurst.com.
NCN Sports, I'm Rod Connett. The men's Final Four is set after a couple more upsets over the weekend. On Saturday, FAU, the 9 seed, took down Kansas State 79-76, while UConn dominated Gonzaga 82-54. Then on Sunday, the number 5 seed, Miami, knocked off number 2 Texas 88-81. San Diego State hit a free throw with just 1 second left to beat Creighton 57-56. So here's how it all breaks down. It'll be San Diego State against Florida Atlantic, and then UConn will get Miami. It's the first time ever that the men's Final Four features no team seeded higher than 4. Both of those Final Four games will be in Houston this coming Saturday night. The men's national championship will then be 1 week from today. On the women's side, 2 more Elite 8 games on the schedule for tonight. Number 1, undefeated South Carolina will face number 2 Maryland. Number 1 Virginia Tech will play number 3 Ohio State. The women's Final Four will be in Dallas on Friday night. On the ice, the Carolina Hurricanes fell short against the league's top team on Sunday. AP correspondent Dave Ferry reports.
The Bruins are 5 away from tying the NHL single-season record for wins following a 4-3 shootout decision over the Hurricanes. David Pastrnak notched his 50th and 51st goals of the season.
It's definitely special. It's been a long way, and, obviously big thanks to all my teammates and my family.
Charlie Coyle and Jake DeBrusk provided the shootout goals in Boston's 57th victory and 7th in a row. Jacob Lauko also tallied, and Jeremy Swayman made 34 saves for the NHL's top team. Jack Drury, Brady Shea, and Sebastian Aho scored for Carolina, which is 3 points ahead of the Devils for the Metropolitan Division lead. I'm Dave Ferry.
You're listening to NCN Sports.
Hi,
Hi, Darcy the cow here for Black Cow, the mature manure. It's time to start getting your flower and vegetable gardens off to a great start with Black Cow. Prepare new plant beds with a 1.5-inch layer of Black Cow in the area and then mix it in with the soil 6 inches deep. Black Cow is organic. Pick up the bright yellow bag and get growing.
Black Cow, the mature manure, Black Cow.
Steel professional-grade battery-powered tools. Whether you're looking for the performance to take on residential and commercial landscaping or the power to get the job done in the forest or at the construction site, Steel has battery equipment built with pros in mind. From low-noise operation to relentless performance, Steel Pro battery tools are built for you and built for work. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com.
In NASCAR action on Sunday, Tyler Reddick in the number 45 car got the win at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Kyle Busch finished second. Kurt Busch, the former driver of the number 45 car, was in the Fox Sports broadcast booth for the race.
How fast we're growing and how much we're doing together. It's forward together on this program, and it brings me a little bit to be choked up. I was hoping to be back in that car, but it's in good hands.
Busch had to retire from full-time racing after the 2022 season because of concussions and other health-related issues. Next up for NASCAR, they'll travel to Richmond, Virginia next Sunday afternoon. And a shout out to Duke baseball coach Chris Pollard, who notched his 700th career win over the weekend as the Blue Devils got the series win over rival North Carolina. Rob Conant, NCN Sports.
The greatest comeback of all time is underway. Remember to shop local businesses. A reminder from Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
The all-new Appliances and More is located at the old Sears location in Aberdeen. Hi, this is Katherine Phelps. Joe and I made the decision to invest in our community as an independent appliance store where we pride ourselves in creating relationships and help our customers make an informed buying decision. We have a lot of new changes coming and invite you all to visit our new Appliances and More in the Town and Country Shopping Center, Aberdeen.
Seven Lakes Contracting and Asphalt Services is currently hiring for several positions. If you're an experienced asphalt supervisor, paver operator, roller operator, or mechanic, to apply, contact Seven Lakes Contracting at slcontractingllc.com to fill out a job application under the About Us section. All applicants must have 2 years experience or more in the asphalt industry and supply prior work references. Again, to apply, that's slcontractingllc.com.
Neck, shoulder, or back pain can be downright debilitating. If you have those issues, you already know that, and you don't need me to tell you about the opioid crisis. There's another, better way. I'm talking about chiropractic, a healing art that's also science. Dr. Sharon Wright of Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes invites you to come in for a discussion about how chiropractic works and could work for you. To be sure, there are many of you out there that have reached the proverbial dead end trying to treat and manage your pain.
This is Dr. Wright. I can't guarantee I can fix every problem, but I will tell you honestly whether chiropractic can be of help for your particular issue. Living with pain is not always the only option. Doesn't it make sense to explore every avenue before resigning yourself to the limitations of pain? Call our office today to schedule a consultation and start living again. 673-2225.
Proven Arms and Outfitters, the retail division of Quantico Tactical, is once again open to the public, offering the best price and selection of modern firearms, accessories, and ammunition. Proven Arms is open Tuesday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and is co-located with Quantico Tactical on Highway 211 east of Aberdeen and on the web at ProvenOutfitters.com.
If there was a better way to handle your finances, when would you want to know? Tune in to White Horse Financial Solutions every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. here on WEEB.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time. With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
The Zumwalt Zone is brought to you by Quality Sheds. Get a quality shed with 1 month down payment. No credit check, monthly payments, free delivery, and deals if you want to pay cash. Visit Quality Sheds at 5200 U.S. Highway 1 in Vass or call 910-638-8907.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. We all know that Donald Trump's being targeted by the Manhattan District Attorney, a fellow named Alvin Bragg. Shouldn't he have to change his name? We had to change the name of Fort Bragg to Fort Liberty because Bragg was a Confederate general. As a guy who spent a lot of my time at Fort Bragg, I want to say to you, we've lost our minds. Someone had to do a ton of research to find out the history of the name. Let me suggest something equally as ludicrous. That DA should have to change his name to Alvin Liberty. Stupid, you say? Yep, I answer. Okay. Since I'm talking about a DA, let me say a word about judges. They're supposed to be wise, right? Judges should care about people, don't you think, and treat them with respect in their courtrooms. The average person's already afraid while in court. The judge has every legal right to talk down to him, but it doesn't make it right. Judges are elected. We've got 1 or 2 in Moore County who may have forgotten that. I already told you about Judge Webb requiring the COVID shot for persons on probation unless they want to pay $40 a month for the length of their probation period. Ordinary people like you and me, we have no power in front of a man, and he is just a man, like Judge Webb. I don't know if he'll have to answer for his actions, but I certainly plan to keep this alive until we find out. I hope you take an interest in it as well. Meanwhile, I hope all of you have a wonderful day and a very safe day. From the Zumwalt Zone.
Showers and moderate rainfall will gradually clear out, and we are going to see mostly dry conditions for this afternoon. With the actual front moving through, we are going to watch the potential for some isolated showers, perhaps thunderstorms to develop. Across the southeast, we will get highs in the mid-70s and lower 80s. Tonight will be a dry one with lows in the upper 40s and lower 50s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
What is today?
What's today?
Today's Monday.
What's this?
Monday morning motivation.
Motivation.
Monday.
Motivation?
Monday.
Wake up! Motivational brigade, come through!
And not only wake up, but wake up with the mindset of being better than you were last week.
I love motivational speeches.
I'm really, really motivated.
Motivating.
Motivation for what?
Showtime!
Got this in pocket, gunpowder, I'm gonna use it. Intention, I'm feeling myself, gonna make you notice. Got motion, restrained emotion, I've been diving, detour leaning, no reason.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It's time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with the Colonel, retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Hey, good morning, Moore County. A little wet out there this morning, so prepare accordingly for your walk or run or whatever it is you like to do in the morning. And, yeah, don't worry. The Democrats have to wait for a little better weather. You know, they don't want to melt out there in the rain, so should be safe for you. Enjoy your day.
All right. Don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you now from our website at talk973.com or talk1041.com or WEEB990.com. All three will get you there. And the video link's right there at the top middle of the page. If you want our audio stream by itself, that's available in the top right-hand corner of every page where it says on the air listening live. Click that once, you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area is going to be mostly cloudy with the light rain showers and isolated storms possible. High of 78. Tonight, more of the light rain stuff, 51 for a low. Thursday, partly cloudy. Itty-bitty chance of showers and rain. High of 67. Same for Tuesday night, 43. Wednesday, still a slight chance of a light shower, otherwise partly cloudy, 62. And then Thursday, we get all sunshine and 68 degrees. Friday, partly cloudy, 76. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are east-southeast at 1. Pressure is 29.97. Dew point 61. Humidity 99%. It is partly cloudy. And let's see, the temperature's changed. No, still 61 degrees. Here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, the Pretenders' Brass in Pocket from 2006. Thought it was older than that. But
that was 2006?
That's what it says. It also says 2006 remastered, so it might be.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's an old song, man. That
I was going to say, I thought it was a lot older than that. Like 80s.
Yeah, it's been around forever. I don't know what remastered. I guess they run it through some computers or something, whatever. Yeah, but that's an old song.
Yeah, they take the tape away and start putting it digitized and
I don't
cleaning
know.
up any tape is, and then it's digitally remastered.
Yeah, I don't know what they do to it. Some magic.
You played them one and the other, and I had a set of headphones that wouldn't be able to tell you the difference.
Oh, well, I definitely wouldn't. But, yeah, there's probably somebody who could. I can't.
They just tried to come up with another reason to get you to buy it again.
No, I had a good friend of mine that, he liked playing vinyl. And he could, without fail, he would tell you, listening, he could tell you whether it was a vinyl record being played or a digital CD or something being played. I don't have rabbit ears like that guy did, but he could tell the difference.
Some people probably can.
Yeah. Well, there's, people with eyesight, they can, see that flea sitting on the rear end of a horse at 100 yards kind of thing, and then other people can't see past the end of their nose, same thing, but, whatever. Hey, more power to him. I mean, he definitely could. He proved it. So, that was pretty good.
All right. Well, game we always play with the Colonel on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
And now it's time for Yes!
Yes! Yes! Yes! Yes!
Or BS.
Don't give me that good bullshit.
All right, time for another rousing round of yes or BS, where we'll give the Colonel a statement. He'll say why that's true, or no, that is total BS. The human face is made up of 14 bones.
The face? Man, I don't know. I can't remember all that stuff from high school. 14? Well, yeah, but some of them merged together and all that. Is that what we're talking about? The face.
I'm talking about the ones, each one has a name.
14 separate bones. I don't know that there's 14. I think that's BS.
It's true.
Is it? Yeah, okay. I can't remember.
This one you'll get for sure.
Yeah.
1 barrel of petroleum holds 402 gallons.
A barrel? How many gallons?
402.
No.
It is false. You know how much?
I can't. It's either 55 or something. I can't remember.
42
42,
gallons.
yeah, it's actually lower. Yeah, okay.
Bhutan issued a postage stamp in 1973 that doubled as a vinyl record.
Japan did?
No, Bhutan.
Bhutan. Man, I don't know. I didn't get my Bhutan Daily News from the 70s. I don't know. Stamp. Yeah, it sounds dumb enough to be true.
It is true. It looked like a record and actually would play
great.
the national anthem if placed on a record player.
Good for them.
National anthem was 2 notes. Ta-da.
Yeah.
Study of rocks is known as gemology. No, let me get it, spell it. GEMELLOLOGY.
Man, that doesn't sound anything familiar to me. I don't know. I don't think so. False.
It is false. You know what that's a study of?
No.
Twins.
Oh, well, good. So if you dated twins in high school, you were actually whatever that word is.
Right.
Okay.
Gemology. There we go.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, great.
On average, the rainfall across the Amazon is 3 feet annually.
The what's that? Rainfall?
Across the Amazon is 3 feet annually.
3 feet? No. Man, that's like 3 feet daily. No, it's a lot more than that.
It's false. 7 feet.
Yeah. All right.
In the U.S.,
Would think it's
peanuts...
more than that, actually.
In the U.S., peanuts account for 65% of all snack nuts.
Peanuts? How much? 70%?
66% of all snack nuts.
2/3 are off, probably. Yeah, there's a lot of peanuts around.
It is true.
Yeah, Matt Horsley knows.
About size of a peanut.
Yeah.
The wheelbarrow was invented by American slaves.
The wheelbarrow was invented. The wheelbarrow invented by slaves. American slaves. So we're talking it wasn't invented before like 1607 or 1619 or whatever that stupid book says. No, I think they were around longer than that.
Yeah, it was invented by the Chinese.
Chinese, okay.
Donkeys can live between 30 to 50 years in captivity.
Donkeys? Yeah, they can. They're ancient, some of them.
Horses can too.
Yeah, if you treat them right.
About 25% of all energy consumed in the U.S. is from natural gas.
How much again?
25%.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty. I want to say it's kind of low. But yeah, I would say at least that much.
It's true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Taco Bell.
Jeez. Okay.
All right, some things we need to know so we do not sound stupid today. Utah has become the first state to require social media companies to get parental consent for minors using their services.
Yeah, I read that over the weekend, and I don't know how they're actually going to manage that, but at least they're making an attempt to get kids away from that garbage, and that's a good thing. I think it is. I mean, they're not outlawing it. They're just saying, hey, you got to be old enough, and if you're not, you got to have your parents allow you to be on there. I think that's good.
Yeah. this famous actress and her husband, Jim Toth, announced difficult decision to divorce days before their 12th anniversary. Who is the famous actress?
I don't care. That's of no consequence to me or anyone else.
Reese
really.
Witherspoon.
Great. I'm so sad for poor Reese there, wanting to get divorced from her third husband or whatever. I don't even know.
No telling.
Who cares?
Britain's King Charles was supposed to visit France this week, but his visit has been postponed due to what?
Due to all the riots and craziness.
That's right.
Yeah.
National rioting and protests. A Tallahassee principal was forced to resign after parents complained that the Michelangelo's statue of David is pornographic and shouldn't be shown to sixth graders as art history class.
Wow. Man. The David, huh?
Yeah, that's true.
I know it's true. The sixth graders. Man, I'm hemming and hawing because I'm trying to think back to, fifth, sixth grade, and we had sixth grade was when we went into ancient civilizations. We had the Greeks and Romans and things, and I'm trying to think if we had pictures of some of that type of sculpture and artwork and things, and I don't think we did. And I'm sitting here, at this stage of the game, thinking back in middle school and wondering whether or not I should have been shown that or not. And I guess, I was successful in school without having seen it. So, the guy's not destroying the object. He's showing it to him, and should he have shown it to him? And I'm thinking, he probably could have found something else to demonstrate whatever he was demonstrating. But they fired him, huh? Yeah. Well, there you go.
According to the Nielsen ratings, streaming top 10, this streaming series takes the number one spot with more than 3 billion minutes viewed.
The Nielsen ratings, huh? I don't know.
Outer Banks. I didn't realize it was that high up.
Outer Banks?
Mm-hmm.
What is this Outer Banks?
It's a series on Netflix.
Oh, I have not seen it.
Nor have I.
Is it are we talking like the North Carolina Outer Banks?
Yeah.
So there's a TV show about the North Carolina Outer Banks.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say North Carolina, but it's about Outer Banks.
Well, it gets a little bit into Virginia, and I guess you can...
Yeah.
Does it extend down into South Carolina a little bit, too, I guess?
Might.
But it's primarily Carolina we're talking about, so...
you know how it is. They do a film that, like, they're doing a film about Raleigh, and they'll shoot it some city in Arizona because they think that looks more like Raleigh than Raleigh does.
Yeah. Well, why would you shoot anything in Raleigh?
I wouldn't.
Well, interestingly enough, the Outer Banks, I say Virginia, you can walk. There's a state park right there at the border of North Carolina and Virginia. You can walk from Virginia all the way down to Kitty Hawk and all that kind of thing along the beach if you really want to. I don't recommend it, though.
Panera is going to try out Amazon's new palm scanning technology that would allow you to pay with the scan of your palm.
Oh.
Now I've seen it all. I got a lizard crawling on my monitor over here.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I never seen a lizard in here.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well, good luck to you, little buddy.
Well, there's look around, see if there's any snakes in here too.
No.
Well, you got a lizard. Oh yeah, I see the lizard. Oh my God. Jesus. Well, those are good things to have. They eat the bugs.
Yeah.
when you had when you were in the BOQ over in Okinawa, every room, you had your gecko or whatever in there, and when you first get over there, they tell you, hey, don't chase the little lizard out because he eats all the bugs for you. So every room had one.
I had a bumblebee in here last week that I had to take care of because he just wouldn't hardly settle down.
Yeah, he didn't look big enough for a bumblebee, but they'll take care of all the rest of it.
Yeah. New Yorkers are complaining about the cost of a street hot dog going up from $2 to $3.
Too bad. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, you voted for it.
You got it. That's right.
Bruce Willis and his wife, Emma Hemming, celebrated their 10th wedding anniversary last week by renewing their vows. He was said to not be able to recite them back.
Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, he's got that debilitating disease.
Yeah. Sure, why not one more show for Anderson Cooper? Coming soon to CNN, a Sunday night program called The Whole Story.
The jokes wreck themselves. I just, you better go on to something else before I blurt it out.
And insiders say that major layoffs are coming soon to Disney.
Oh, I thought they already started laying people off.
I don't know, but the major ones are coming. Wonder why?
Yeah.
Because summer's coming.
Well,
time.
I think they lost out on their on all their stuff. So
And their political correctness costing them a lot of people saying, well, I'll vacation somewhere else.
yeah, they're going to have to. Well, I'm wondering if they're going to start passing off a lot of their support activities to the local governments or whatever. Police and things like that.
Well, they got to pay more taxes.
Yeah.
Let's see. 3 out of 10 people say they sometimes quit to avoid losing in Monopoly.
Well, yeah, you resign the game or whatever. I mean, we used to play Monopoly, and man, it like 10 hours later, it's like, yeah, I've had enough of this. Take it.
Well, if you play it right, you pretty well mop up, take all their money.
Yeah, well,
A wedding ring helps a man in a job interview, but hurts a woman.
Oh, I guess. I don't know. That's interesting.
18% of women have gotten a credit card behind their spouse's back.
Okay. Why? It's a personal card. Why? All right. I'm not sure why that's important, but all right. There you go.
40% of men believe that women should not mow the grass.
What's that? 47% of women say they
40%.
say they shouldn't be cutting grass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, generally, no. I mean, it's. I don't know. Yeah, if you've got a riding lawnmower, what's the difference? I mean,
Most of us consider an alarm clock essential, but 12% of us don't even have one.
I've got one. Rarely use it. So
I knew a guy that never used an alarm clock.
Man.
I said, what about the nights where you're real tired, you go to bed late, and you got to be up early? He says, I just wake up at the right time.
I'm generally like that, although, like you're saying, if I've had one of those long days, like 18-hour days, and I got to go back to work the next day, yeah, I'd set the alarm.
The average American watches up to 18 different TV channels. Ladies, if a friend asks you to be a bridesmaid, it will cost you about how much money, you reckon?
Man, I don't know. What, today?
Yeah.
There's no telling. Oodles of money.
$1,700.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
And although they can save you money, the amount of people using coupons has dropped over the last few years. Well, thank goodness. Get a little tired of constantly having to get behind people with a ton of coupons.
Well, you got to watch. You got to look. And, well, why would you be in line? Why don't you go through the self-checkout?
I do most of the time.
All right. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Before self-checkouts, yeah, I figured out very early on, you just want to check, and that person that's standing in front of you or whatever, want to check that purse or whatever, see what's sticking out of it, and, checkbooks and coupons and things like that. Yeah, I'd go to the next line.
Yeah, when there's nobody in line, and just to keep the kid from trying to sneak in his cell phone, I'll go down that line. So let me give you something to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of people using coupons lately either, now that you think about it. It's been a while. And actually, if the people checking out are competent with it doesn't take that long to run the coupons. I mean, unless you got one of those people that's got the big, 30-day folder thing and got, and it's about 1.5 foot thick. There's coupons hanging out of it, and they start leafing through this thing. Yeah, you get behind one of them, that might be a little disturbing.
2 Virginia inmates busted out of jail and headed to a local IHOP after using a toothbrush to dig a tunnel through their cell wall. The 37-year-old and 43-year-old prisoners were captured at the Pancake Joint's location about 7 miles away from Newport News jail they escaped from hours earlier.
Newport News, Rhode Island? Is that where that was?
The men used primitive made tools constructed from a toothbrush and metal object to break open their cell wall and access unsecured rebars between the walls.
Oh.
They then used a rebar to break a small hole in the wall and climb through. Once out of their jail cell, the men scaled the containment wall and made a run for it. Bystanders at IHOPs had noticed the 2 inmates and had called police. A facility management team and engineers team were reviewing the facility's security and will ensure the building is shored up.
Well, yeah, when you read the headline, or you read the headline with the toothbrush, and you kind of think here's some guy scrubbing on the on the mortar in between the blocks or something, and it's no, they actually pulled out some rebar. You can do a lot with a chunk of rebar.
Kind of like the escape of Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's an old jail, it's probably some cracks and things like that in there, so they just exploited a weakness. Yeah, okay. So now you know what's been wrong with your computer. You got that little gecko in there. He's been running across all your leads, etc.
Yeah, he still is today, it looks like. Ever there when I was needed.
Does Dorothy know she's going to have to come down here and get that thing out of here now?
She won't mind this. She would mind a snake. Well, come on, you little twerp, and open up. I swear, does no good to play with Windows because it doesn't know how to play. That's the ridiculous part. All right, let's try some one-liners. Today is that National Joe Day. Damn, I wish my name was Joe, replied Joe Biden.
Yeah, I'm not sure, is that a joke or is that actually true?
During a visit to Canada, President Biden said that the U.S. and Canada need to stick together. He added that they have a lot in common, like how both countries were British colonies when he was a boy.
Yeah, I'm sure he said that too.
Mark Zuckerberg and his wife welcome their third child. Instead of baby wipes, they'll use Meta stock.
Well, the other thing I read about him is he names his kids after Roman emperors or something. Yeah, nothing wrong with him.
Let's see. Donald Trump called the DA investigating him a degenerate psychopath. Hunter was like, hey, that's my nickname.
Yeah. Well, I don't know this Bragg guy. I don't know if he's a degenerate, but he's certainly showing some psychopathic tendencies.
It's just a total waste of taxpayers' money. Just something to give MSNBC to get lit up on.
Yeah, it is a tremendous waste of time.
I mean, they already had a bomb squad around the courthouse, and they were trying to negotiate with Donald's team how this all would go down so that he was safe at all times, blah, blah, blah.
Well, if the Democrats were smart, and they're not, they just ignore him. And he'd get much less. I think that would be the way to go. Just ignore the guy.
Well, I honestly believe that Nancy Pelosi, who by the Constitution has the duty to protect the Capitol building, and she didn't call in the guards on
J6.
J6.
Right.
They didn't call them in because they did want a riot-like atmosphere around that.
All of that is being proved to be true, and that's exactly right. And I think if they, if you want to diminish Trump, you don't give him a platform. And if you just ignore him and just, hey, just drop all this garbage, and, I think he's still going to get a lot of the, he's going to have the massive rallies and things like that.
He's got to stop with the name calling because that's going over like a lead balloon.
Well, I'm not going to tell him anything, but if they would just ignore him, that would diminish his standing somewhat, much more so than what they're doing now. All they do is pump him up.
Yep. The World Clown Convention was held in Orlando over the weekend. It drew 20,000 clowns and 3 cars. And today is Viagra Day. It's celebrated way more than the National Erectile Dysfunction Day. All right. Well, so it goes for this Monday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow for a titillating Tuesday. Until then, be sure to support the mom and pop businesses here on WEEB because they're the backbone of our economy here. We can grow ourselves out of any, quote, recession by spending local. And also by spending local, you create jobs for everyone. And if you'd like to be a part of the success team of those that know how to grow their business, well, call us here at WEEB and let us show you how to effectively attract customers to your establishment. Because of those that do, they're all successful and they're all making big bucks. All right, that's it for me. I'm Steve Leader, and Nick and Colt and I will see you this afternoon at 2 at the dog park.